The Grand Council of Seven Civilizations had existed in relative peace for millennia. The eternal minds of Sigma Prime, the collective consciousness of the hive worlds, the crystalline architects, the energy beings of the void, the synthetic overlords, the biological masters, and the ancient observers had all agreed on one fundamental principle: Earth was to be left alone. Completely. Entirely. Without exception. This was not out of respect. It was out of fear. The Council had made their pact 500 years ago, when humanity was still fumbling with nuclear weapons and hadn't even left their solar system. A crystalline architect expedition had attempted first contact. They had sent a probe, a simple gesture of greeting. Humanity's response had been to attempt to capture it, study it, weaponize it, and ultimately, through sheer stubborn ingenuity, reverse engineer a portion of its technology. When the architect demanded the probe's return, humanity's nations had nearly destroyed themselves in conflict over who would keep it. The Council convened and made their decision. Humans were unpredictable, aggressive, innovative, and apparently willing to tear themselves apart over shiny objects. They were too dangerous to engage with. A consensus decree was issued: all species would avoid humanity. No contact. No intervention. No observation. Earth would remain in quarantine, a biological reserve containing a species best left to its own devices. For 5 centuries, the Pact held. Then came the Valerian Empire. The Valorians were young, ambitious, and most importantly, not signatories to the original Council Pact. They had emerged from a distant nebula only 2 centuries prior, and they answered to no ancient agreements. When their scouts detected an unusual energy signature from Earth's solar system, they were intrigued. When they learned that 7 of the galaxy's most powerful civilizations had declared the region off-limits, they became convinced there must be something worth taking. The Valerian Armada descended upon Earth with overwhelming force. They did not come to conquer or communicate. They came to harvest. They wanted Earth's biological diversity, its genetic material, its resources. Their ships descended like locusts, and humanity's primitive defense systems proved utterly worthless. For exactly 47 minutes, it seemed the Valorians would succeed. Then something extraordinary happened. Humanity didn't panic. They adapted. Fighter pilots with no training against alien technology improvised tactics using atmospheric manipulation. Engineers reverse-engineered principles from salvaged Valerian debris in real time. Programmers created new software protocols to interface with alien systems. Scientists theorized solutions while soldiers tested them. The entire species functioned as a single organism driven by survival instinct and creative desperation. Humanity didn't win through superior weapons. They won through refusing to believe the battle was unwinnable. When the Valerian commander, devastated by the loss of half his fleet to tactics that violated every principle of conventional warfare, retreated to report to his superiors, the Council learned what had happened. An emergency session was called immediately. The energy being representative spoke first. They defeated a modern armada through improvisation and collective problem-solving. They created countermeasures to weapons they had never seen before, added the synthetic overlord. In less than 1 hour, the ancient observer, who had witnessed civilizations rise and fall across billions of years, transmitted a single statement: "We made the pact because we feared them. We were right to be afraid." What the Council realized was that humanity's greatest strength was not their individual capability, but their refusal to accept defeat. They learned, adapted, and improved at terrifying speeds. Separated from the galaxy's established power structures, they had developed in unique ways, unburdened by the limitations of older civilizations. The Valerian Empire, meanwhile, received a message from the Council. It was surprisingly brief: "The species on Earth is under our protection. Any further contact will be considered an act of war against all 7 civilizations simultaneously." No Valerian ship ever approached Earth again. But the Council changed their pact. Where once they had declared Earth off-limits out of fear of humanity, they now declared it a protected world out of respect for what humans were becoming. The quarantine remained, but its purpose transformed. Earth was no longer a problem to be avoided. It had become a promise to be kept, a guarantee that one young species would be given the time and space to reach for the stars on their own terms. In the depths of space, a new law was whispered among the stars: never underestimate the species from the blue world. They will find a way.